Hey, hey, beauties. This is a Sacred Space podcast with me, Katie. And on this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to make time for self-care, how to connect with your soul, and how to use your home and design it so that it supports you and nourishes you in every aspect of your life. So I am so happy you are here. Let's dive right in. Hello, beauties. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what your home says about you. So I firmly believe that your home is a reflection of the state of your soul. I don't believe it's a reflection of your soul itself, but of the state your soul is currently in. And I believe that we can use the home to heal if our soul is in a current state of suffering or trauma or anything that's like painful. We can use the home to heal those things. So so today I just wanted to talk about the different things that I see in homes and what they may be reflections of. And please keep in mind, this is all very relative, and different things apply to different people based on what they're going through. This is just what I notice in my work as a home organizer and life coach. And so it's not necessarily a reflection of you or a judgment whatsoever. People get really weird about their houses, so I just want to throw that out there as a disclaimer before I dive in. So, the first thing that I notice when I go into someone's house is the energy of it, how it feels. And I think that we all notice this when we go over to someone's house, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. It's how it feels. And there's plenty of homes that I've been in that are super clean and that seem organized on the outside, but they don't feel right. They could feel dark, or they could feel cold, or just uninviting in general. And then there's plenty of homes that I've been in that were a tad messy, but felt warm and inviting and, beautiful. Okay. So it's more about the feeling than it is about what it looks like. So just to set the tone for that right away. So sometimes in our own homes, it's hard to tell how our homes feel to us because we're in them all the time. So we're not really sure how someone else would feel coming over versus how we feel in our home. And that's why I believe it's so important to set an intention for how you want to feel in your home, and make sure that every time you come home from work, you are feeling that way when you step into your house. Because whatever intention that you set for your home, and the more consciously aware you are of the state of your home and how you feel in your home, is how other people are going to feel in it too. So it really always boils down to awareness and making sure that that you feel good in your house. Okay, so here are some of the common signs or traits of emotional or mental clutter will show up in your home as clutter, typically. Okay, so that could just be drawers, closets. It could be a hoarding issue. It could be super small, or it could be super big. But if you see clutter in your home, or your home feels cluttered, and you open a closet and stuff falls out on you, or you just immediately want to shut that closet door as soon as you open it because it just feels so yucky and there's so much stuff packed in there, then that's a sign that you also internally are holding on to things inside. So you're holding on to pain, you're holding on to trauma, you're holding on to worry or fear. These are all things that clutter up our soul and put it in a state of stagnancy, and then that stagnancy will show up in our homes, such as closet clutter and drawer clutter and cabinet clutter and all that stuff. Okay. So, and then the next thing is another really big thing is darkness. So if you tend to choose homes that tend to be really dark or have dark, like, I don't know, like cabinetry or whatever, like it has that dark like feeling or that dark vibe. That tends to be a sign of fear, that you have a hard time like not living in fear, like your soul or your emotional set point is fearful. And that there's stagnancy. Okay, so the best way to overcome this is to give yourself more light. Find out ways, if you can. I know it's like super expensive to like change your cabinets, but you can always paint them rather than changing them out. And cabinet hardware isn't that expensive. So if you wanted to just paint them a lighter color, you could always do that. Find out ways to bring light and warmth into your home. Okay. There is in Feng Shui, which I practice in my own way. I call it modern Feng Shui. There is the balance of energies, and the two energies are yin and yang. And yin is dark and cold and flowy and that sort of thing. Like it's more like the feminine sort of creative energy. But if there's too much of it, it can be equal destruction. Okay, so you want to balance it out with more of the yang energy, which is going to be light and bright and more airy and that sort of thing. So you want to have like a good balance between your yang and your yin, and between your light and your dark, just to make it easy. And that is very, very important. And by doing those things, you change the state of your soul. Whatever you do for your home, you do for your internal self. So going back to the first example of like mental emotional clutter, if you're struggling with that inside and you have these emotions that you're holding onto that are really hard for you to let go, the best thing you can do is, rather than looking deep inside and trying to go through all that, is start in your home. Start with one closet and just go through it and start taking stuff out and letting go of things. And if it's something that's like, really hard to let go of, even though you need to, you can set it to the side and come back to it later. But just starting that process is going to help you heal emotionally. It's going to start the process inside as well. And it's so much easier to look at our homes and start getting our homes feeling better than it is to deep dive into these, emotional parts of ourselves that can be very, very painful, that we may not have looked at in years. And that we're not necessarily ready to look at. And so the best place to start is to go into your home and just start clearing things out in your home. And that will help start the process for clearing those things out and making more room for your soul to expand and removing the stagnancy from your life and from yourself. Okay, so anyways, so we've got clutter and we've got darkness, coldness. And then sometimes it's the opposite, where it's just like you walk into somebody's house and it's like so bright but that's not necessarily warm. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but going into someone's house where it seems like really bright and fluffy and nice, but you're not catching like this like warmth vibe, like this warm vibe, like where you would want to stay there. And this has to do with like an inside like hollowness. Okay. So like think about like pretty on the outside, nothing happening on the inside. That's a condition of the soul where the soul has been sort of like left behind. Like there's no connection like to yourself. So, So if you're experiencing something like that, where you're working extra hard to make your home feel bright and beautiful and amazing, and it looks really nice, and you have all the good furniture, but there's no warmth, there's no depth to it, there's not that inviting energy where even you want to stay in your home for long periods of time, or you feel comfortable in your own home, that's a sign of disconnection between you and your soul. It's that hollow feeling, that sort of void. Okay, so the best place to start there is a lot of people that have that condition are busy people. Like, they constantly want to be away from their house and not be at their house and be doing something all the time. So the best place to start there is to start a connection with your soul. And that was, in my experience, again, it's easier to do it outside than it is inside first. So I would start with making that connection with your home. So if what you feel you're lacking is like that inviting, warm energy, set an intention for that. And the best intention for that would either be like an intention for connection or an intention for love. They're one and the same, but it just depends on which one resonates with you most. But I would set that intention, and then I would write down 25 ways I can make more of a connection within my home. And this could look like having family movie nights, where you all get together, there's laughter, there's fun, there's popcorn, and you're creating that warm energy. Or family game night, whatever. So you're making a connection, and you're creating a connection in your home. Or plan to spend an hour inside your home doing something, even if it's just you alone, doing something to connect with your home. Like you buy flowers and you put pretty flowers out, or you make a cup of tea and you get a cozy blanket and you read a book on the couch. Like, start a practice, like a regular practice where you're connecting with yourself, but inside your home. Okay. and make sure that you're like, keeping that intention of love and connection at the forefront of everything you do within your home. And that will start the healing process, not only to create that environment of warmth and depth, but within yourself as well. And allow you to start connecting with your soul on a deeper level. Okay, so those are my insights of the day for what your home says about you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want more of this kind of stuff, I did write a book on it. It's all of my feng shui secrets and different tips and tricks of like how to connect deeper with yourself and your home. And also my entire organizing process, which is super simple, that anyone can do it. And it's in my new-ish book, called The Mommy's Guide to an Organized Home. You can get it on my website at sacredspacewithkatie.com, and just click the link somewhere on there. I'll put the link underneath this podcast. and then you can head on over to Amazon and buy it. Okay, thank you so much for listening, beauties, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.